Tell Morrow I said hi then, Freeway. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and dim down the music just a little bit, set the mood. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ronimo Streamisho for June 3rd, 2020. My name is SlowWolf, and I'm going to be your host for the day. We are having raffles. You see where it says let's go? Give it 3, give it a 2, give it a 1, boom! It's a raffle site. Now, as this is going on, I want you guys to go ahead and keep a close eye, or a close ear, I suppose is more accurate, on how it sounds, because I've got a new sound for it now. When it goes off, you'll hear it. I'm really excited to see how this goes. Now, that said, we are dropping a lot of frames on my end. I'm hoping that was just the past. So hopefully they stop dropping now. It seems as if they've stopped. But if internet issues persist, I apologize in advance. Stuff happens. I'm in a residential area, what can I do? So, today we have a couple of things on the docket. First and foremost, we have some news. There's some tournament news, both some tournament news more personal to me, and some other tournament news about a tournament that has been delayed and is now rescheduled, so that's cool. We also have a couple of other bits of news, very specifically to do with my tournament. We're going to be having a fairly long FAQ session about the tournament that I'm running, because I want to explain it. As far as I understand, it's going to be a little bit new. And then finally, we'll play some games. We'll actually get to playing some Awesomenauts. The Knots of Awesome. Anyhow, let's start with some news. In the news today, let's start off with some tournament news. After the leaderboard reset and everything has been done, things have been going pretty well, and well enough that at this point, Tempest is back at it again. We have the Awesomenauts Brawl kicking back up one more time. It'll be happening, let's see, I believe it is, if not this weekend coming up, then the next one. I just need to check the actual announcement here quickly. So it'll resume on June 13th, so the weekend after this one, where there will be a weekly qualifier taking place at that point. And then afterwards, there'll be some more stuff. So make sure you go ahead and check out the Awesome Brawl Weekly. And, you know, that you check the new rules, because apparently those have changed around. So, check that out, talk to Tempest, all that stuff. As far as new stand, yeah, DLC key. For what? Catangerine? I don't understand. The only DLC anybody's winning today is RoboScoop, and you'll see that when that happens. Now, the other big thing of news that happened is that I announced and finally fully published the beginnings of the SlowWolf Pod League, or the SPL. The SPL is my own invention. It has its own little system in terms of drafting and everything, and it's going to be Ronimo-backed, effectively, in the sense that Ronimo will be, because I am Ronimo now. If I made it, then I guess Ronimo's backing it. So, at the moment, it is meant to be a fairly casual league. The idea there being that it's going to get people to get in their reps, play some team games, have some fun, without all the pressure of having to get in all their games within a 2-day span. Instead, you have 3 weeks for your team to get together and play with the other 4 teams in a pod, play them, and then you get a new session. Now, this comes with a couple of interesting things and asides, which we will get to in a minute. But for right now, registration is open. I will go ahead and put the link in the chat in just a moment if you are interested in this whole shindig. Here we go. You know, I have to change that then. RoboScoop and a DLC key is just RoboScoop for right now. I did not notice that, my bad. So, go ahead and check out that website right there. That will give you the information that you need, and there's also a player booklet there, which we will go through very briefly today before we get into some games. But again, the general goal is to try to give people the reps that they need. If they wanted to play with teams, with their friends and stuff, this is a way to be able to get them to play in games where they are going to be going up against some pretty good people, or some people just learning. Either way, it's meant to be fairly casual and easy to get into and easy to play. It gives you 3 weeks to be able to play 4 matches, which is not too difficult, I hope. And it uses a new system that I've invented called the roster system, based off of my own previous experience with other games and playing those competitively. It is different, I think is the best way of putting it, and it might take some explaining. So why don't we go ahead and get to that? I'm going to go ahead and link everybody the booklet right now if you are interested, and if you are not a very competitive person, this might still be worth taking a look at. It's a pretty extensive document. So, to go over it quickly, here's the gist. The booklet itself is just there to effectively give you a rundown of the rules. It's exhaustive, I grant you that, but the basic idea is that over the course of 3 weeks, there will be multiple divisions, or pods as I've called them. Each one will have 5 teams in them. Now, with those 5 teams, each one of those teams is going to play against each other in a round robin, which means everybody plays against each other at least once. And at that point, based off how you do, you get points. That's simple. At the end of 3 weeks, if you're at the top of a pod, you move up. If you're at the bottom of a pod, you move down, and eventually the pods sort of sort themselves out. If somebody performed way better than they ought to have, then obviously we can, case-by-case basis, move them around all over the place, but you get the idea. Teams themselves can be made up of 3 to 4 players. That 4th player ends up kind of being a sub or a pitch hitter, or just another person that can play some knots, because the roster system does require that you play several of them. Or at least to a decent degree. So if you don't know how to play a lot of different knots, having a 4th person on your team can help with that. It makes it a little bit more difficult to organize, granted, but it helps. The match format themselves is going to be fairly simple. You have a game, you have best 2 out of 3. Simple enough. Now, here's the bit. We don't have drafting in this one. So, in a lot of competitive games, what you have is a drafting system where you have bans and picks and you take turns and all that stuff. Not today! Not today. There's 4 reasons why. The first one is that Knots Drafter is not always available. As it stands right now, Knots Drafter is only on during tournament times, and I cannot ask the person who runs Knots Drafter to just be like, hey, just keep this on all the time, please. That's not a thing I want to do. Second, although drafting is a very powerful tool for upper-tier competitions, it can be a bit stressful, and for teams that don't know what they're doing with that system, they are at a severe disadvantage compared to teams that aren't, which is normally fine, but for this, that's not the goal. We're not trying to make it an alienatingly difficult competition. It's meant to just be playable for everybody, more or less. Certain characters as well, due to the lack of continued development right now for Awesomenauts, in the sense that we're not creating new balance patches and we're not creating new characters right now, certain characters are just really strong. And in a competitive setting with drafts, you end up in a situation where you're always banning certain knots, you're always picking certain knots. There's not a whole lot of variety. So I'm trying to avoid that problem. And I really feel like the new system will help with that and create a more interesting kind of system and gameplay. So, with that said, let's take a look at the roster system. The roster system, I'm not going to lie, is inspired by all my Warhammers, so I am very sorry. But the idea that I think works well enough. This first session, so this first 3-week period, is going to be a test to see whether or not it works. If it does not work, then obviously I'll need to revise it and figure out how to make it work. But I believe that it has a lot of promise. So, yeah, so free rate pound, you have a good point. So also not having a draft means that people who only play 1 or 2 knots don't get banned to death. Yeah, pretty much. So if you play more than 1, if you only play like 1 or 2 knots, you'll at least have the ability to play those 1 or 2 knots, depending on how you write your list. So, the roster system is based off of a series of lists. Every roster list has 3 teams in it that I've called strike teams in this case. Imagine like a little group of Awesomenauts being sent out across the galaxy to fight in certain areas. Those are your strike teams. Each strike team is made up of 3 different knots, and no knot can appear in a strike team or more than 1 strike team at a time. So if you have, say, Froggy G in one of your strike teams, it cannot pop up again in strike team 2 or 3. So you're going to have 9 different Awesomenauts on this list, organized into 3 different teams. Once you write those down, and you've got them listed, and you've registered for the tournament, they are locked, which means that for the 3 weeks that you're playing, you must use those strike teams. And everybody can see each other's strike teams on the tournament, page, which allows you to kind of plan ahead of time and figure out which teams you want to use against what other teams, sort of, or guess. For people that can only play 1 or 2 knots, then it means that you have 1 bad comp. Yeah, but that's why you end up having a 4th player potentially on your team. At that point, they can help to shore up some weaknesses that your team might have. So, you have those 9 different knots and everything. The last thing that makes this work is going to be a malleable, changing ban list and restricted list system. For the first system I got set up, I ended up asking people and some specific players who they felt were very strong characters and who probably needed to, you know, some restriction. The ban list is very simple. There's Dizzy. That's it. The reason why is because everybody picks or bans her. There's nothing else to do. She's apparently just too strong. So she's just not allowed to be picked. Then there's a restricted list, and the restricted list is interesting because that one's going to be very flexible, based off of how knots have done in certain, like in previous matches, and how the meta has changed, and, you know, all that stuff. So the restricted list is you're only allowed to pick one knot from that list for your entire roster list. So that means if, for the restricted list, for instance, there's Smiles, Froggy G, Yuri, and Ayla on it. And I have those 4 on it because I ended up doing a survey. I asked people what they thought. They thought that those characters mostly were the strongest ones. I was very tempted to put Sentry on there as well, but we'll see about Sentry because only 2 people have said anything about him. Okay. As it stands, you're only allowed to have one of those knots on your roster list. End of story. So you can't have Froggy G and Ayla, for instance, on 2 separate strike teams or anything. You can only pick one, and they can only go into one of your strike teams. So that's gonna avoid a lot of the power level kind of thing, where you can only pick like one super powerful knot, and then at that point you have to kind of figure out the rest of the teams and how they're going to work out based off of what you can play and what you want to play, and hopefully being a little bit more creative with your knots choices. Obviously, again, those will be all changed up and everything, and there is an example of how to write one in the player's handbook. Additionally, there is a little format thing that you can just copy paste. Really, that's about it. You run the game in much the same way you would in any other tournament, with one person playing as the red team, one person playing as blue. Blue gets priority in terms of banning or picking a level effectively. So after the first game, the player, like the team that lost, or like Team 2, sorry, gets to pick the map, because they don't have host advantage, usually. And yeah, that's it. So at this point, let's take some questions, and then we'll get to playing some games. So, instead of looking to the side, I can look right here. Question. Is the team able to add a 4th player mid-season? Halfway through a season, a player realizes they can't make the rest of the games. Can they bring a 4th player at that point to fill out the team? That is a great question. I'd say yeah, but they can't A, be from another team that was in a league already, and B, they must, I'll have to figure out how to make it work. But it can work, I think. So yes, I'd say that's okay. Kind of wish Sentry's on there, but otherwise still a great list. Yeah, I'm tempted to put Sentry on there, because his playstyle tends to be fairly passive, and I kind of hate it. Now, mind you, this is not necessarily the easiest place to get teammates. It might actually be easier to check out the Discord that I set up for this one specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and send everybody an invite in the chat that you guys can all use for the day. Go ahead and check out this Discord link. It will bring you straight to the SPL Discord. You can go ahead and give yourself the roles that you need to look for the team, to let people know that you're already on a team, that kind of stuff. And I already have some game rooms set up, so that way you can go ahead and play some games while you're there. Maybe even practice the system if you're looking for it. Zydecore asks, is there any planned system to prevent mirror matches? I feel like that with not restrictions in mind at top level, you're going to end up seeing almost identical strike teams with maybe one changed. That is a fair point. At the moment, no. And the reason why is because I'm trying to keep this system right where it is. I didn't actually think about like mirror matches being necessarily a massive problem. But the strike team, like the kind of pre-game shenanigans where somebody's like, okay, we could play the strike team, but there's a chance we end up in a mirror match, so why don't we pick up a different one so that we can counter their issue, will probably pop up. And once they've used that team, it's worth mentioning that they can't use that team again during the match. So if somebody's got a lineup with Ayla, Sentry, and, I don't know, Clunk, right? They used that strike team in the first game. They can't use it again in game 2. So I'm hoping that that kind of forces people to think outside the box in terms of their teams. But we'll see, right? At the moment, there is nothing to really stop a mirror match from happening other than player input and people just changing. Honestly, it's a solid list. Although if I had known you had a survey, I'd have bitched about Sentry myself. Fair enough. Raffle site, I will hear the sound, everybody will. But I was kind of gone for a bit, but question, are there prizes or this is purely for fun? So, there are no prizes for the league itself. There will be 3 sessions of this at least. However, at the end of 3 sessions, I should have a full-on player booklet then for an SPL Invitational, where I'll be inviting certain teams to come play in an 8-person tournament. Chances are that will mean the first pod plus another 3, the top 3 people of the second pod, right? And then having those... Thank you for the raffle site sound, me. I hope you folks all heard that one because that was entertaining. And it's Sass and Salt. Congratulations. If you earn or / win a skin over the course of this stream, wait until the end of the stream. I'll make sure to hand out all the Roboscoops there. But thank you very much. Salt and Sass. Yeah. Take 2. Sass and Salt. And I hope you enjoy your Roboscoop skin once you get it. But yeah, the idea is to go ahead and play for fun. The invitational tournament at the end of it will have some form of prize support, but I'm still trying to figure it out. So, as a Sentry main, I would be sad if Sentry went into restrictions, but I could manage. I know most people play it passively and don't go in. Mirror matches are probably not going to happen. Mirrors are horrible to play. Both teams will probably not do that. They'll probably try not to do that, but after a mirror match happens, it probably won't happen a second time. And the way that I got it set up, hopefully, I can add things more to the restricted list or the ban list if they just become too powerful or too omnipresent. The idea is to try to get people to try out some of the other knots as well, learn more of them, and to force people to figure out different strategies, and it should even the playing field a little bit, because then those pro players who are really good at 1 or 2 different knots, maybe all of them, but whatever, will be forced to play weaker characters, and at that point, a team that has a particularly good, strong, strike team can save that for a match where they absolutely need it and potentially give themselves an edge. It's weird, but I totally get that, but at the same time, I believe that it could work. I wonder if the restricted list will boil down to the best knot on that list. We'll see. We'll see how many people take and pick, Froggy, Ayla, Yuri, all that stuff, specifically for that stuff. I have a feeling that Froggy will be a pickup, but Smiles, in particular, could be a very popular one as well. I honestly don't know, but we'll find out. Now let's go ahead and reset the raffle site timer, please. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. If there are no other questions... So you can pick 1 restricted knot per 3-man pod. Incorrect. You can pick 1 restricted knot per roster list, which includes all 3 teams. So you'll have 1 restricted knot out of all the 9 awesome knots you have on your list. Which means that you can't have Froggy in one team, Yuri in the other, and Ayla in the last. You have to pick one of those 4 in order, if you want to. You don't even have to, mind you. You don't have to pick a restricted knot. But they're on the restricted list for a reason, so you might want to try. If you like those knots, then pick them up. And again, this is a list that will change over time, as will the ban list. So that hopefully will change things a little bit and keep things rolling. Now, I'm beginning to notice that my frames are dropping at an astounding rate. Actually incredible. I mean, Streamlabs updated, so I'm willing to blame it. Honestly. I'm blaming Streamlabs. Alright, do we have any other questions? And then I can move on to the last piece of news before we play some games. Nope, just a bunch of raffles. Yeah, it's a lot of drop frames. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm trying to be a professional here, but we've dropped 15% of the frames. It's a lot of frames. Oh, my internet's usually better than this. Okay. When will you be able to show some gameplay from Blightbound? Boom! Which brings us to a perfect segue to our next piece of news. Blightbound news. Anime frame rate? Oh. Thank you. I appreciate Smitto stuff. To be fair, every team can only run Sentry Smiles once. They can't run it a second or a third time. So we'll see. Sadako, if that happens, then we can deal with it. So the bit of news. I can't really say much. But I can say that there will be some news coming probably this weekend. There is... internally from what I've been able to see, there should be some more juicy stuff coming out, and it should be coming out soon. I realize it's been a long wait. You know, we announced Blightbound back in May, and having like this long to wait for more stuff is brutal. I want to talk about it so bad, but I can't. But if you're asking about gameplay and stuff, there should be some news about that in the near future. And if all goes according to plan on my end, worst case scenario, there will be a Blightcast about mechanics and all that stuff this coming Wednesday. So that'll be a thing. I won't air the whole thing on the Streamisho. That's not the point of the Streamisho. But I will make sure that it's available and everybody can find it if they want to. And we will go ahead and tease some of it on the Streamisho itself. So... is Awesomenauts planned updates? Nay. Nothing hard. There's no hard development being done at the moment with Awesomenauts. All the development that's happening with it right now is soft development from my end of things. So the tournaments I've been making, contests I'll be making, and stuff like that. Finally, we're almost at a point where we have an Instagram. That's a cool piece of news. So we'll be able to go ahead and put up fan art and all that stuff. Which is kind of something I really badly want to do. One of the things that I absolutely loved about Awesomenauts is the fact that they used to, like, there's fan art that always popped up on the loading screens and all that stuff. I want to be able to do something similar with an Instagram. And so as a result, there we go. Can we at least fix Snork so he actually works properly? Grim, would you like to go ahead and fly to the Netherlands right now and sit down and just do a coding? Because if you'd like to, be my guest. But at the moment, we've got literally no developer resources to do it. None! It is the way that it is for right now. It is the way that it is. Still, I hope that it's okay. But yeah. Travel restrictions. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was hoping. That was... hoping? That's what I thought. So yeah, that should roughly sum up everything. I think. Like... I hope I explained the roster system relatively well. Again, check out the player handbook, check out the tournament. Registration is for another week. So right now, registration's open for the tournament. Go nuts, register everybody. What you'll need is a team name. You'll need to write up a roster list for the team. So at this point, you'll need to like figure out a way to write down the thing, or a paste bin for the team. I highly recommend going to paste bin and then putting that into the roster list section that will be in registration. Then for everybody else, there needs to be like an email so that way I can reach you. You're gonna need to put down your nickname, the team name that you belong to, your Steam ID, and it's gonna ask you for your first full name and last initial. That one's going to be like private. All the other information will be public, except for the email. But like the email, the first name and last initial are gonna be private. The rest of it will be public. So just keep that in mind. Open source it. I'll fix that Snork snail pronto. You know, you're not the first person to have said to ask about open sourcing the game. The problem with open sourcing the game is I actually don't know what the problem is necessarily, other than we still love the game and kind of need to maintain Galactron on our end. And if we open source it, then Galactron probably explodes, which kills the game. So, but that's just me catastrophizing. Honestly, I'll ask why we can't, but I know that we can't. Sentry should be on a restricted list? No, I'd agree. I like the idea of putting him on this restricted list, but that's too much personal information to send over the internet. Okay, well then I can go ahead and make at least the email optional. But I would like to have the first name and last initials, just so that way I can make sure that nobody's trying to play on two different teams, which is cheating and against the rules. But yeah, go ahead, register, sign up and everything. Make sure that you have a good list with your team ready to go before then. I don't expect to have a whole lot of registrations today. But you guys have 1 week. So 1 week today at midnight, the registrations will close and the league will start up if there are enough teams. We need at least 5. Currently, I've anticipated that we might get around 10 teams. If we get 10 teams, that's great. If we get more than 10, then I'll see what I can do about adding another pod. You know, if someone wants to cheat like that, nothing stops them, right? Technically no, but the fact that you need to put in a Steam ID, and then I'm asking for other information to just triple check that that's not the case, hopefully that doesn't happen. And I hope that people recognize that this is literally a league for fun. If anybody is like, you know, and if anybody does that, that goes really hard against the spirit of the SPL, and I will probably react in kind. Which means to say I will overreact and probably boot you from every team you're on, if I find out. Just, dude. SlowWolf plays too much Warhammer. Yeah, I definitely play way too much Warhammer. Generally, replays will also reveal cheating. Yes. Okay, cool. So I think that we've kind of talked about the SPL enough. Like, way more than enough. Let's go ahead and put that to the side. Okay? If anybody else has any other questions, please check out the Discord. Please check out, like, the actual tournament website. And check the player booklet, please. Read it. There's a lot of information in there, but a lot of the information should be in there. I'll go ahead and update the frequently asked questions thing as we go along and as people ask questions. So, for instance, the question about whether or not you can have more than one restricted dot, obviously, no. And, you know, different teams, whether or not people can hop in and out. We'll get to that. We'll pull a Karen and bring out the battle axe whilst teleporting behind the cheater. I might just do exactly that, Grim. I might just do exactly that. Look, I don't know why I'm doing this. Let's go ahead and play some games. Not the competitive knots anyway, lol. Just wondered why you need emails and names. Again, literally just to make sure that people aren't, like, cheating or anything, and to make it so that way I can contact them if they're having, like, a hard time, like, speaking or something along those lines. Like, it's literally just so that way I can contact people and check that there aren't doubles. That's all. Okay. Let's go play some Awesomenauts, or at least try to, before my computer explodes. How's that sound? If you guys want to queue up against me, then be my guest. Hopefully it works out. Now, at the same time, I'm also going to go ahead and turn off the music for a minute there, just so that way it doesn't, hopefully cause everything to lag horribly. Battle axe! Yep. There's a battle axe. I think it'd be pretty silly to host and operate a full-scale tournament without accountability. That's kind of the idea. Dr. Time proved tourney? Who's Dr. Time? And why do I need to proof it against them? Give your computer a nice water bath to cool it off. Dusty, you goddamn genius. Thank you. I can't believe I forgot to turn on the fan for this thing. Cannot wait for the new computer to get here completely. I am so ready for a computer that doesn't explode every 30 seconds. Okay, let's play some games. Audio, hit that music, pump it up, pump the jam, and then we're gonna get started. So I've been trying to practice and get my Ix up to snuff. Currently, Ix is not level 12, a travesty as far as I'm concerned. But then on top of that, I've been trying to figure out a build for him that works. I need your help, chat. If you can help me with my Ix play, that'd be super sweet. You getting a new computer? Yeah. What was the Q shortcut you did? You hit the Q button. Just like that button there on the keyboard. I hit that. If you want another cool trick, you know what you can do? You can click on this tiny little square here once you're in the queue. Boop! And you get a little game that you can play. Although, admittedly, oh right, you use the mouse buttons to click it. And then, how do I activate the thingamajig on this thing again? I forget exactly. Is it third click? It is third click. Okay, cool. Which makes me invisible for like a little while. Yeah, I remember. How long of a while though? Oh, it wore off. Okay, must have. Yeah, like look, you can play like well, not asteroids, but you get the idea. The other thing you can do while you're queuing is actually watch things. You can watch other people play the game, and it'll automatically slot you in. It's fantastic. You'll need your credit card number and expiration date and 3 numbers on the back. Graham, who do you think I am? You get dot plus range on range on the attack. Really? Then bond damage, then refract damage, and amplification. Then you have won the game. That seems about where I'm sitting right now, but I got a slightly different build. I didn't go for range. Does Knots have any, does Ronimo have any plans on updating Knots to 64-bit? No. Again, the issue is that we just don't have the developer, like, resources to be able to put into Awesomenauts right now. They just don't exist. And as a result of them not existing, we can't develop any hard tech for the game right now. We literally just can't. So as a result, instead what we end up doing is we're going to try to create these softer systems like running tournaments, leagues, having some more brawly kind of things pop up. That's the best we can do. Now, as far as Max are concerned, yeah, I'm sorry, my dude. That blows. The good news is that at the very least, I mean, according to my brother who worked for Apple and loves Apple to pieces, even Apple computers are, according to him, better at running Windows than Windows. That's a thing. Hey, it's Dusty! Hey! Heal on A is bigger than damage? Aw, dude, the damage is so good, though. Just boot camp the game? It's doable, but boot camp's not fun to have to work with. Boot camp is not fun to have to work with. I will back you up on that one. As a former Mac fanboy, Rip, I wanted to queue against you. Well, if you were going to play Raylan, I wanted to queue against you too, bud. Mac is a big stinky. Look, Zydecore, there's no need to be rude about people's PC choices, okay? It's not what we're doing. Alright, so, Ix. For those of you that have not played Ix, because you might be new to the game or something along those lines, Ix is your support swappy nonsense character. If you want a Dota 2 equivalent, they are a lot like Io in some respects, mixed with Puck. The idea behind Ix is that you are a support character that relies on some healing, but mostly invulnerability frames to keep yourself and other people around you alive, making you very tricky. Sight. Alright, folks. It's the raffle site, which means I'm going to go ahead and miss all of my solar as I roll up the winner. It's the OP Goddess. Welcome, 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 and hopefully you enjoy your RoboScoop. Now, at that point, let's go ahead and start up another raffle site. Lane presence and lets you cheese earlier. This is gonna. It's on the Ronimo, oh my god, Twitch channel right now. Yikes! Yikes, Tuttle. This is why I don't have chat on. You know, we went from being a PG-13, completely normal stream to having this nonsense happen. I am legitimately upset with you, chat. Let's go up here then. Okay, cool. Enjoy the prismatic moon dust, you jokers. You know, I'm not actually all that sure that healing is necessary on the left click. Like, don't get me wrong, it's pretty dang good. But I gotta wonder if there isn't, like, just another way to do things. Like, just like, I don't know. Have you tried using your phase shift? Get out of here. Okay. I'm a wee bit hurt. Let's run around, grab some solar, send some droids around, and then hopefully that'll help. But there's no solar down here. Somebody took it all already. Outstanding move. Your top turret is under attack. Okay, I'm a little worried for my own HP, but I can heal. Never mind, I can't heal anything. Okay, gotta be careful of Scree, gotta be careful of Raylan. Oh, there you are. Hello. Oh, that was spooky. Very spooky. Have a heal. Enjoy that, Dusty. And at this point, I will now teleport home. Brawler X is best, though. Damage, range, and heal. Yeah, no, Brawler X has a lot going for them. You can do a disgusting amount of damage just by going Moon, Prism, damage, and then extra shards. Like, at that point, if you want that damage, you can do that really easily. Any tips for someone looking to learn Ted? Hey, you know what? Next game we'll play Ted. Next game we'll play Ted and see if we can't learn together. But the basic gist, get the stun early. Don't have the regen. Oh, I do have the regen!
No rest for the angelic.
Give me Crystal Crunch. Yeah, never mind. Forget what I said earlier. Crystal Crunch is a lifesaver. We want it all the time. It's cheap. It's effective. Why wouldn't I? Okay, is there a healing pack? Nope. Nope, there is not. See, it was you, Tempest? What? It was who now? What? Why? I bounce upstairs. There's a angry lady with scissors that we need to deal with, or at least the push that they are pushing. Nice saw blade, friend. Okay. Even one rank in the heal is actually helping our slaying presence quite a lot, so I'm pleased with our choices. But now we just need to actually farm up some solar. Like, that part's proving to be a little bit difficult right now. We're having a hard time getting the money. Blast him. Try to be aggressive. Okay. No holy cup. Okay. Do I head home? No. There's an HP pack. We can pick up some solar while we're at it. Knots on Temple OS when? Yeah, I tried. Okay, I'm gonna go back upstairs to deal with the top push because they're about to push in, which is no fun. Now I'm lagging incredibly hard. That's just me and my tiny PC. Team heal on bind. Oh, I'll get it eventually. But I need other, more reliable damage first. I need the ability to clear lanes pretty early on. Perfect. Nicely done, Dusty. That's what we have to do. I can't believe he jumped over it. The absolute madman. Bounce upstairs. Start punching this in the face. Okay, I'm glad I stole that before he did. Oh, you have it. I understand now. I'm not a very smart man, Scoop. I try, though. Okay. This is spooky. Let's just drop down the stairs quickly. Probably could have swapped into that, but what would we have done for damage? Tuttle doesn't have his damage yet. Get you out of there, Dusty. Yeah, careful, Dusty. There could be a Ksenia anywhere these days. Okay, put in a little bit of damage. We just need another, like, 40 solar, and then I'll be able to pick up some of the basic damage to begin with. I think it's, like, the hardest knot, though. Ted is a very difficult knot because of the sheer number of activated abilities you have to deal with at a given moment. I'm spooked. Oh, I got that somehow. Nice.
Brothers and sisters, to me!
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use this opportunity to go ahead and poke these gentlemen. Get some heals. Dusty died. Uh-oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, I've got the money to go back home and get the damage. That's not a problem right now. But ouchie, saw blades. That's downstairs. Yikes! No, this hurts. Why does it always hurt? Okay, jump through. Oh, run away! Run away! Run away! Run away! I do not wish to be hit by that. I do not wish to be hit by that at all. Okay. We have so much money, I can't go back home, though. He's hella rewarding once you get used to it. Yeah, Ted is one of those characters, for sure. This is a good slideshow. Oh, I'm glad, Graham. I'm so happy I could create this slideshow just for you. Oh, dang it. Hey! Got him! Alright, next up, crystal damage. Start your stream? I can't help it right now. You know what? If we have to just talk for the rest of the stream, then that's an option too. I'm so sorry. I'll try to reset the stream after this, but this is brutal for me too. And I don't know why it's happening either. So probably just resetting the computer will help. The good news is that we're at least not dying. Gameplay is fine enough that it's okay? Really? Okay. Okay. Well, we're managing. We're alive. You guys call it a study stream. I call it comic book format. Look, the comic book format is a time-honored and tested one. Yeah, see, that's the problem with time slot. It extends the amount of time that I have where I'm invulnerable, too, so I'm not too worried about time rift, actually. It's almost helpful for me. I want to go home. I really do. Get going, Harry Tuttle. Or don't. Yeah, no, they're gonna get this turret, and there's really nothing we can do about it. And that's gonna have to just be okay. Now, with the fact that they're also very close to getting the top turret, we need to run. Like, we're not gonna be able to defend those turrets long enough. The bottom one's gone, the top one's gone. Our job is literally just survive for a little bit, whilst we get everything else in order. South Park's looking good these days. God damn it. I tried so hard and got so far. Their team is really, really good at handling us right now. Oh, I was a little slow on that uptake. That's fine. Let's just give you a heal. Thank you, friend. We need damage. We need damage something fierce. Wow, instant death, huh? We killed one of them for two of us. Not worth it at all. Okay. That hurt. That hurt. This isn't Wolf's channel. I'm so confused. Well, okay, hold on. Quick question, folks. And I've done some research. But what did Neil do differently during these situations? He played Awesomenauts, right? This is what he did as well? Okay, so we killed one of the rocket droids. The other rocket droid will be dealt with in short order. Now-ish. Okay, cool. We lost Dusty. That sucked. Okay. Oh my god, we've lost everything. We're just gonna get smashed? Oh, the sadness. I am resetting the stream and resetting my computer after this. We can't go in on that. But we can try to bait them out going in, of getting out of there. They're not taking the bait, though. Okay, I tried. X is the anti-burst knot. He thrives when he can output consistently and nullify big bursts, which is why I avoid dot and keep my endgame numbers and flexibility up. It's a good point. It's a good point. I like dot. It's such an easy upgrade to use, and it does result in some kills, which you wouldn't normally get. But I can understand not going for it. It does make a lot of sense. Because I could have picked up just raw damage or just raw survivability right out of the gate. That may have been better. Who else misses distance? Because I do. Alrighty. Well, I'm not sure if I can do anything else here. Gotta hit Nook where it hurts, steal them. Look. Nook is doing a fine job.
To the barricade!
Is making a dent in your top turret.
But like I can't go in on them at all. They have so many different ways to burst me down that it just hurts too much. Okay, and the other thing is I keep healing people instead of killing people, which is really painful for me. Like, I'm trying to put out damage, and it won't happen. It's not enough. I miss Clunkarbe. Yeah, I hear you there. Again! I wish I couldn't heal teammates. Like that's how much I hate this. I really wish I could just not heal teammates. Because there are just so many times I'm like, I'm gonna go after this person, and I hit my teammate instead. Wow. You've tapped into the opinions of a know-it-all X-main, so I'll reel it back. Oh, that's fine. No, I'm not even worried about it. And it's raffled site, which means I'm gonna go ahead and get my team killed. And roll up a new winner, which is Freeway Pound! Congratulations, you are our third winner for the day. And we'll continue with another raffle site starting now. We got another raffle site in us. Alright, cool. Can we bring this back? Absolutely not. We haven't even taken one turret. But, maybe there's a snowball's chance, and heck, we can actually do something. We'll see. Leave my friend alone. Yeah, I know we're dead now. Alright, well, that was fun while it lasted. Oof. Change the raffle site sound? Yeah, I tried. I made my own 4-part chorus for it. I got the raffled site, and then I've got raffled site, and then I've got raffled site, and you know, all of them layered together. It was fun to put together, but I need to make it better. I feel like I could do it without having to pitch bend everything. All right, come on, baby. We might be low on the totem pole, but we can do this. Just gonna go ahead and get in there and rock this world. Like, I'm dodging damage. I swear I am. It's just not enough. How is that guy alive? I'll tell you how. Unlucky. It's nice to raffle site. Maybe grab a book, get some air. Yeah, man. Always. That's how I want my raffle sites to sound. You know, it's not stressful. It's not raffle site. It's like, you know, angelic chorus of raffled site. You know, that's what I'm going for. Maybe next week I'll try to do a heavy metal version. Raffled site. It'll be good. That'll be good. It won't take me too long to do, and then I can like double kick. by just slamming my hands on the table. How's that sound? Can't even tell what's happening on the stream. You know what? I can't even tell what's happening on the stream either, my dude. I'm just talking. At this point, we've lost. Like, oh, this is brutal. Yeah, I'm looking at this, dude. I'm the one running these frames. I promise you, I understand. There's only so much you can do in a residential district as far as internet is concerned, and I am really trying my hardest, I swear. We will go ahead and reset, like, something sometime, but I think that for today, we might just roll up a 4th winner and then call it an early show, because, oh, this is brutal to me. I am upset. Let's not talk about it too much. Wah! Gotcha! Finally! At least we know where she went. That's the other thing about Prismatic Mundos, is that you can see invisible characters with them. And I've been facing a lot of Leons and a lot of Ksenias lately, so... Oh, she's upstairs. Hello, hello. Oh my god. Also, the fact that Scree does that much auto attack damage compared to me is painful. And that's game. That was at least fun to try to finish up on. PowerPoint show. I am hurt. I am hurt. I tried. But you're right, guys. You're right. And honestly, this is not... This is not good enough. So, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. It's too much to ask you guys to sit here and watch us try to have fun with this. No one's having fun with this. So let's just go ahead and quickly recap. Recap. SPL is now up and live. It works. At least that's the hope. Good. Go ahead and register with your team. Read the player booklet. In addition, Tempest is running his own tournament. Qualifiers start on the 13th of June for a week. The Awesomenauts Brawl is back, maybe. There should be some news about Blightbound coming up soon. Hopefully this weekend. And that will include some gameplay stuff. Hopefully. And that's it, really, for this podcast. And by podcast, I mean Streamisho. My brain is so fried. It's so fried. Yeah, but the video is important, my dude. It's a streamy show, not a streamy cast. Or Rana cast. What is the SPL? I came late. The SPL is, to put it succinctly, the league that I am running. Go ahead and check it out. I'll go ahead and put some stuff in the Discord. But for right now, let's go ahead and roll up our last raffle site winner for the day, and it is Exposed Dancer. Now, last week, Exposed Dancer put their name in the hat and then did not get back to me, as far as I know. So, Exposed Dancer, if you're here this time, I need you to check your messages. But since you won last week, let's go ahead and roll it another time. Vixie, you're the winner for the last RoboScoop of the day. Thank you very much for dropping by. This has been a good stream overall. I'm glad that I got to explain the SlowWolf Pod League to you folks. I'm sorry that it looked as choppy as it did. That obviously was not my intention. My hair is frazzled. It's like visibly out of place. I am visibly out of place. We're done. Oh, jeez. Look. Good stream. thank you everybody so much for coming. This will be up on the Ronimo YouTube as soon as it possibly can be. It's pretty much 1 o'clock anyway. So we'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll have all these kinks ironed out, technologically speaking, because I'm a little annoyed that this happened. But yeah, next week should be nice and spiffy. We'll hopefully have more Blightbound news to talk about then, and we'll get in some more games, hopefully. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll be up and around doing some Awesomenauts streaming on the Discord and stuff over time. Just keep an eye on the Discord. Speaking of which, Ronimo Discord, discord.gg/Ronimo. You can go ahead and get some more news there about everything Ronimo going on in terms of news, in terms of leagues, in terms of everything else. So go ahead and check that out. Additionally, if you're looking for some more other places to get news, I mean, there's the Twitter, there's the Facebook, there's everything else, and we're still dropping frames! I'll see you guys next week. And later on this week, if you guys hop around in the Discord, I'll be around on the channel. Just, like, streaming to Discord every once in a while. Take it easy, folks. Y'all the best. Stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands. And, be brave, guys. I'll see you guys next time.